Kia back in the 1990s never used to be about lavish interiors, strong performance, or stylish designs. However, they've always represented one key factor, and that is value. Nowadays, however, Kia is just not representing value, they're including all of the other factors as well, and the result is that there are definitely some desirable Kias that you will find nowadays. Just last year, Kia gave us a pretty strong competitor in the full-size sedan class, but let's go ahead and see if it's still competitive. Now our Cadenza we have here is pretty loaded. It comes with many luxury amenities such as leather seating surfaces, a heated steering wheel, and a rear power sunshade. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. I really do love the key fob for the Cadenza. You do have your lock, unlock to release your trunk, and then your panic button. Now, even though this isn't one of the most striking exterior designs in Kia's lineup or even in the full-size sedan class, this is still a fairly classy and restrained looking vehicle here, and it's quite handsome. You do have these pretty nice looking projector headlights, and then you also do have LED accenting lights too. But overall, I do quite like the styling a lot on the Cadenza. Now it is a satin metal exterior color, or you can call it a beige, but Kia likes to call it satin metal. You do have smart key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door. You also do have a full-on black leather interior. Power thigh extension, power driver seat adjustments, power recline, and your power lumbar too. Now when you step on inside of the Cadenza here, you're treated with a very opulent cabin, and it's certainly on par with the rest of the class here. It's just a very luxurious interior design. And you do have push button ignition. Now what you're hearing there is a 3.3 liter V6 engine. Now you do have a leather wrapped steering wheel with the wood grain on the top portion right here. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance lines, but no trajectory here. And we also do have paddle shifters for the manual shift mode. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights. You also do have fogs too, and the hazards. Driver's window and the passenger window are automatic in the Cadenza. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood and check out the engine bay. Now you do have power folding exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators. And they also are heated. High intensity discharge headlights with LED accenting lights and halogen fog lights too. Now under the hood here we have a 3.3 liter V6 engine with gas direct injection producing 293 horses at 6,400 RPM and 255 pound-feet of torque at 5,200 RPM, with the EPA estimates being an okay 19 in the city and 28 on the highway. It also runs on regular unleaded fuel, but we'll see what this baby can do when we hit the road later in the video. Now, competitors of the Cadenza, you have the vehicles in the full-size sedan class. This includes the likes of the Toyota Avalon, Dodge Charger, Chrysler 300, Chevrolet Impala, as well as the Ford Taurus. Pricing of the vehicle starts at the premium trim, which starts at $34,900. Then you have the limited, which starts at $43,800. And then there's a couple of packages you can choose from, like the luxury package as well as the technology package. Now this vehicle is also priced at $39,050. You also do have these pretty handsome looking 18-inch wheels here. They fit the Cadenza pretty well. Now coming to the rear, you have LED tail lamps. That's probably my favorite part about the Cadenza is the rear end. It's very stylish. You also do have dual exhaust tips, rear parking sensors, and a shark fin antenna on the top, as well as a LED third brake light. At nighttime, these lights also have a pretty nice glow effect to them. And you also do have rear reflectors. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities, power windows, door locks, and your power mirrors. And like I said, these are power folding exterior mirrors. You also do have your memory seat settings for 2 people. Nice soft touch armrests, and it's also soft touch on the mid-door panel. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Sure is that the Cadenza offers a pretty sophisticated driving experience, and I'll tell you why. One factor is that this 3.3 liter V6 engine we have here is very strong, and it certainly offers a lot of power for your daily commute, and you certainly won't have any trouble passing up vehicles when merging onto the highway. Now, as far as the ride goes in the Cadenza, it's very serene, very supple, very comfortable here. Soaks up road bumps with ease, and I just love the ride in this vehicle. You can hardly feel a bump. Now, as far as handling goes, I expected the handling to be much more floaty-boaty, but to be honest, it's not that bad, I have to say. It's on par with the rest of its competitors like the Toyota Avalon and the Chevrolet Impala with its handling. And I expected it to be much more numb. Now, this is certainly no driver's car here with this luxury barge, but it's definitely an improvement from when Kia introduced the Amante several years ago. Now, one thing I'm also impressed with on this vehicle is the maneuverability. I expected it to handle much larger, and it really feels more of like a mid-sizer. It feels more like an Optima, I have to say. And I'm very impressed with the maneuverability in this vehicle. It's also pretty easy to park too. So overall, I'm really impressed with the driving experience of the Cadenza, mainly because of its effortless V6 engine, its very comfortable and serene ride, as well as its pretty good handling for a full-size sedan, and its decent maneuverability. Very nice. I really do love the sound of that V6 powertrain. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of the Cadenza here, if you think that Kias build horrid interiors with horrible build quality and materials, you really do need to think twice again, because the Cadenza has nice soft touch materials on the upper door panel, armrest, as well as the mid door panel, nice stitching, and then up here it's also nicely padded, nice and soft touch up here on the dashboard too. It's just a really nice interior. Build quality is also pretty good too. You won't find many panel gaps inside of here. Everything is very well put together for the most part. But overall, this is a really nice cabin here. I'm very impressed with Kia. Now down here you also do have a sliding lid, and it's also wrapped in this pretty nice wood grain trim. And then you also do have a USB port auxiliary input and a 12-volt power outlet. Coming down here, you also do have your cup holders, And then right here is where you'll find pretty much most of your luxury amenities. You have your heated steering wheel right here, power rear sunshade. And then you also do have your heated and ventilated front seats. Then down there you also do have another 12-volt power outlet, decent amount of center console storage, nicely padded as well. Up there you have an auto-dimming rearview mirror with garage home link and integrated compass too. Sunglass container. And then you also do have a panoramic sunroof, which many vehicles in this class don't offer, like the Toyota Avalon or the Chevrolet Impala don't offer this feature. Now, one thing I really do love about the Cadenza is the seating comfort. You have nice, soft, pillowy headrests, and then the designs of them are also pretty nice too. The side bolstering is also pretty good, and then the thigh support is the best part. It's excellent. I can definitely take this vehicle on a long road trip, and I didn't find a hard time finding a comfortable driving position here, and I have lots of legroom, lots of headroom too. Now, as far as visibility goes out of the Cadenza, it's also pretty excellent too. Lots of side glass area, outward visibility is also decent, and then rearward visibility isn't too shabby either. Now, coming to the climate controls, I love how Kia went with traditional knobs and buttons here instead of touch-sensitive buttons, which is sometimes not the best option, and a lot of manufacturers nowadays are going with that. But it's a very simple and clean looking layout, very ergonomically correct. You have dual zone automatic climate control, front window defroster and your rear window defroster. You also do have your fan speeds. You also do have this pretty nice classy looking analog clock. And then coming right there you have your different modes or your different zones, and it'll display up here on the interface. And then you do have your recycling mode too. Now, coming to these set of buttons down here, basically these set of buttons are shortcuts to many options on your Kia Yuvo system. You have your AM and FM right here, and then you have your satellite radio. And then you also do have your SD card slot for your map, and then your map and voice destination, and then your phone, your different media sources, which do include your optical disc drive, which is your CD player, your USB, and then your iPod integration, auxiliary input, and then your Bluetooth streaming audio. You also do have a jukebox on this vehicle too. And then you have your seek and track button, and then your route. But you do have to have your SD card inserted to make the map work. Now, coming to Kia's Yuvo system, the main head unit itself, I really do love this 8-inch touchscreen here. Very responsive and lightning quick. And I love how big the buttons are and how clearly labeled they are as well. And then you can pair up your phone, show your call history and your connections and your contacts, and you also do have an integrated dial pad. And then you also do have your e-services. You have your e-services guide, your GPS info, parking minder, vehicle diagnostics, and then your roadside assistance. And then your points of interest. And then you could change many different settings like the sound, navigation, voice recognition, various things. But let's go ahead and test out the voice recognition.
Please say a command after the beep.
Sirius channel 47.
Sirius channel 47.
Overall, it's pretty good. You also do have HD radio on this bad boy too. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, it's not the newest design out of Kia's today, but it's still fairly high quality and stylish looking. You do have your steering wheel mounted audio controls, Bluetooth phone controls, and then right here this controls your little TFT instrument cluster, which I'll get to later in the video. You also do have your voice recognition and your cruise control buttons, and you also do have intermittent windshield wipers as well. You have your gauge brightness right there, and then your traction control off button. And then these slots right here are for optional safety technologies too. And then you also do have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Now coming to the gauges and the instrumentation, I really do love the gauges here. You have your RPM gauge right there, and then your fuel gauge is also right there. But your speedometer is actually digital, and it's part of the TFT instrument cluster, and basically it's going to show you various amounts of vehicle information, and then you can also change many different user settings. Like right here, it shows you your fuel range and then your average fuel economy, what gear you're in, your exterior temperature readout, and then your trip odometer too. And then it shows you what radio station you're on, and then your direction of travel, and then your service. And like I said, you can change many different settings like the door, lamps, service interval. You can change the temperature unit, as well as the speedometer size, speed unit. I'm going to change the speedometer size and make it large. And then steering easy access if you want to welcome sounds on when you start up the vehicle. Then your steering position. Pretty nice settings you can change there. And as you can see, the speedometer is pretty big now. But overall, I really do love that little TFT instrument cluster there. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle, including the rear seat passenger space as well as the cargo capacity. You have a very large trunk here, and you also do have a ski trunk pass-through. And then you also do have a little first aid kit right there as well. Now, build quality and materials do follow through in the rear. Nice soft touch on the armrest, mid-door panel, and upper door panel. And you also do have heated rear seats back here too. Now, since this is a full-size sedan, I'm expecting pretty good room back here, and it certainly doesn't disappoint. Lots of legroom back here, and headroom is also excellent too. And the seats are very comfortable, nice and plush. You also do have rear air vents back there as well. You also do have cup holders too. And a new option for 2015 is that you can have a USB port in the rear center armrest. But overall, it's a fairly comfortable experience. And like I said, you also do have a power rear sunshade. Then you have your dome lights right here too. And certainly the panoramic sunroof definitely gives the cabin a much more open and airy feel. Powered passenger seat with power recline. Here's your glove box. Nice and damped. Line what felt. I'm very surprised. Very high quality. Very nicely done, Kia. So the 2015 Kia Cadenza is certainly a solid choice for a full-size sedan if you're looking for many luxury features available, a finely finished interior, as well as a strong V6 powertrain. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.